Morning folks, how's it going? I wanted to do a video today about a very important story that's doing the rounds at the moment. I was going to do this in the, try to build a little studio space at home, but I thought I'd do it on my little wander as I'm out and about here. I'm talking about a court case that's going through at the moment to stop the steal, basically. Many of you will have heard of it, but an awful lot more of you will have heard absolutely nothing, because the mainstream media have tried to hide it and belittle it. They try to make out that it's a sore loser case. It isn't. It's to stop rampant systemic fraud. The fact that the person taking it got the least number of votes, allegedly or reportedly, in that particular election is neither here nor there. It isn't about him losing, it's about his ability as a result of that election to finally prove there is systemic fraud in our elections. And if you don't believe me, before I go any further, I'll just play you this quick clip of the leader of Basildon Council video saying exactly that he's actively engaged in fraud himself.
There is a big day in Basildon, there's no two ways about it. We were looking at the postal votes, because when they open the postal votes to verify, you can start to see some of the results as to what that looks like. And the truth is, it is really close. So I think Reform thought they'd be well ahead. They're not. It is very close in terms of Labour and Reform. But in order...
Yeah, I can film this walking to work because it's quite pleasant morning for a change, and I can take the scenic route again, which is always a bonus. See right out to sea. Fortunately you can't see, you can just about make out the Isle of Man out there, but it's lovely. A little bit nippy in the air, but not too bad. Right, so this fraud case, I don't know if you're aware of how our votes are counted at our elections, but essentially everything is put into a bundle of 50 votes, and at the end of that counting period each bundle of 50 is counted, and any loose ones, and that is the tally they finally use. The trouble is, when they then demand a recount because there's some discrepancy, they just recount the bundles, and that's been going on forever and a day, rather than recounting every single ballot as they should. And what tends to happen, and say it's been going on for a very long time, is for some parties, especially the independents and the smaller parties, but it happens to the bigger parties too, bundles with their votes will be topped and bottomed by a party that they want to win. So let's just, for the sake of argument, say that the winning party they want to install is Labour. Some of the Tories, independent and smaller party votes, bundles, will have a Labour vote on the top and a Labour vote in the bottom, and that will become a Labour pile of 50 votes. It's that simple. This normally happens right in the centre of any counting room, away from the prying eyes, away from anyone who's observing, because the observers stand around the edge. They don't walk from table to table, they're literally on the fringes. And that's how they've been getting away with it, and it's been rampant for a long time. There's many people try to bring it to court, but have failed for various reasons: lack of money, lack of proof, technicalities, so on and so forth. But this time round, one man has managed to get it to a court case this November. The trouble is, some of the people named in the court case have appealed on an absolutely daft technicality, even though that technicality was thrown out during the initial court hearing. It's ludicrous what's going on. But this is all to ramp up costs, frighten the person away, and end the case, because they need the fraud to carry on in order to keep the corrupt governments we keep getting. So I urge you, irrespective of your opinions, irrespective of your political positions, to take notice of this particular case. The case is being brought by Graham Moore, very colourful character, but he represented the English Constitution Party, a party very supportive of England and restoring the English Constitution to its full. He allegedly got 50 votes. Well, he got 50 votes in another election some time ago, and it's almost impossible to get exactly 50 votes twice. The statistics are incredible. There were some other antics that went on in terms of the material that he put out there, but that's another story. But the important part is he needs to raise £25,000, and that's to cover the costs so far. The trouble is, I mean, it's a fraction compared to what Tommy, etc., and all the other big cases have brought in, but it's still a fight for such a small party and a one-man band, and it's not getting the publicity, as I say, that it needs. Can't see the train, but I can hear it. As I say, none of the major press will cover it. When they do talk about it, they insist that it's just sour grapes, sore losers. I mean, how can someone who got a minority vote that was never going to win have sour grapes, for God's sake? But the fact that the winner only won by 6 votes, it could well be that that party, which was Reform in this instance, actually won far more votes. Who knows? But that's the point. We need to know the exact count, because every vote matters. Your votes matter. When you put your mark on a bit of paper, you want to know it's counted correctly, and that's what the whole court case is about, making sure every vote counts. So if you can lend to support, I've put the link in the bottom for the GoFundMe. I would appreciate it if you could share this video. The more eyes we get on it, the better. Thank you for your time. See you soon. Take care.